Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of DarLeeLlama Plays Stoneshard. Now, unfortunately, I have some bad news to start with. I've been doing a lot of recording, and it may seem like I've dropped off the face of the earth. I do apologize to people if that may have seemed to be like the case. I got a couple of messages and I didn't immediately respond. I do apologize for that. I've been recording a lot, and I've gotten all the way up to episode 10. Unfortunately, as soon as I got up to episode 10, I was about to upload episode 6 when I realized that all of the game audio was missing from the episode 6 and up. I don't know what happened. I've been tweaking my audio recordings. I've been trying to make the sound quality improve in post-processing when I export it to a video editing software. And I think I must have clicked something on the OBS and I screwed up the audio settings so that it did not record the game sound. What this means is that episodes 6 through 10 to me are unusable. Because I believe that if you are going to play a game for other people in a Let's Play as a YouTuber, a streamer, what have you, the element of the game needs to be within there. Even if people just listen to you by minimizing the video, if they don't hear the game being played, there's really no use to putting that video up to begin with. No one wants to just sit here and listen to the sound of my voice and nothing else, because they really don't know what's going on otherwise. Or that's just one case, for example. So I consider those videos to be useless, and unfortunately that also makes our playthrough useless, because I got Jorgrim all the way up to Manshire, and I can't go back. I saved over each time I slept, so that just means we have to start over brand new. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hit new game, we're going to hit adventure. Osbrook 1 week later.
So here I am. The caravan is gone. My leg is...
We're going to go ahead and skip through Varen's spiel. We already know what we're about. So, we could go ahead and choose a different character, but I don't think we will. For one thing, I'm already playing through as Arna on a personal save file, and I really don't want to repeat that until much later, when I feel like doing something new. Particularly because she's a dodge tank, and I feel like Arna best suits that. If we wanted to do heavy plate wielder, we would just go Jorgrim anyway. He's best suited for that. Second, if I do, in the future, I do want to do permadeath runs. And if I do a permadeath run, I feel like Derwin and Jonah are going to be the best for that, because those are the guys I've had the most success with that kind of mode. Just because their long range affords them the ability to hunt animals early game, and gold equals power. If we want to avoid death, that's the way to go. So I think we're going to keep up with Jorgrim. Now the difference with this time around is that...
Interesting. So it would...
excuse me. We had a bit of trouble
you can also ask the innkeeper
when we played Jorgrim the first time around. And that was his survivability. And his ability to deal damage. We kept dying in dungeons and getting reset until later on in the game when we got better items, but of course you would not be subject to that because I did not release those videos. I think this time around we need to commit to a weapon, and the best weapon to commit to him for big damage is going to be a two-hander. The reason I say this is because if we're also going to go into combat tactics, we can choose our combat mastery. We choose one of the different tactics, and that can be offensive or defensive tactics. And defensive tactics pairs very well with two-handed ability parry. In addition, you're still swinging around and basically doing a ton of damage. We're going to go ahead and pick up our first quest while we're here. So I feel like that's going to be the best bet for us. Now, even though we can't get any skills with two-handers because we don't have the books yet, we can still go ahead and fulfill our combat mastery. Except instead of taking offensive tactics, this time we'll be taking defensive tactic. The best skill so far from this tree I have found to be Seize the Initiative. The bonuses that you get completely wipe out the negatives that you might suffer from using a weapon like a two-handed weapon. And then we'll pick up defensive tactics. So for example, looking at the War Scythe, we get a 20% fumble chance and a 20% energy cost. Just stacking up our Seize the Initiative completely gets rid of that, because we get plus 20 accuracy and plus reduction of fumble chance. And we'll get cooldown and ability energy cost reductions as well. So it's just too good. Particularly with a two-handed weapon, I feel, or any weapon that has big negatives like, say, maces and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and sell the Traveler's Blade. We don't need it. We're going to hold on to the axe just in case we need to maybe go into a sword and board moment. And we'll sell the axe and the homemade sword. We don't need that stuff. Then we're going to head down to the Carpenter. Hello. Get rid of our RP there. And then we'll sell the bow stuff because, again, we won't use it. Bows are not worth it unless you invest a skill point, and I don't want to at this moment. We could. You always can. But I just feel like at the moment, it's not a high priority. So, after that, we are going to head over to the Tailor. Tailor is our primary source of armor in the early game. The blacksmith doesn't sell very much armor, if any at all. And the thing that we're hoping to get is the leather vest. Now, the reason we want the leather vest is it's 200 gold. It's within our budget. We usually end up around a little over 400 whenever we sell those beginning items and take what we don't want. The other things that you aim for in the early game are going to be tan boots and the padded coif. Unfortunately, those are 470 and 600. Well out of our range. This gives the same amount of protection, but it gives a very hefty dodge bonus. And having that dodge bonus in the early game without any kind of other armor weighing you down is a very big increase to our defensive stats. So we're going to go ahead and take it. As you can see, the fur vest does not compare, and then we're going to go ahead and sell it. Eventually, we want to get enough to get the tan boots for protection and the coif for protection. We will not be replacing our belt or our necklace for a very long time, simply because those items are unique to Jorgrim and they offer very good stats at this level. And the only reason we would want to replace it is if we were to get something that we really liked and wanted to enchant, and hope that the enchant would outperform what we're getting from here. What we're getting mostly from it is crit chance. And that's going to be a major bonus to our damage dealing for the time being. Once we get done getting our armor, we're going to head up here. And we're going to buy some bread from the innkeeper. We could have bought it earlier, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and swing by and take care of things one at a time. Now, the only reason we're only going to buy 2 pieces of bread. And the reason for that is that the very first dungeon you go to is going to be chock full of alcohol and bread. I like to think of the first dungeon not so much as a dungeon dive, but a grocery shopping trip. We're hoping to bring back as much alcohol and food as we can from the dungeon, simply because it's going to be chock full of it so much. We're going to go ahead and buy a splint, 1 splint. I normally buy 2. But lately I've been buying extra leeches. Just because leeches don't need the body part to be damaged in order to use it. So you can use it like when it's not broken, but it's like half down. And also because we start with some mead as Jorgrim. So that helps you at least have 2 uses of pain management from the get-go. On other characters who don't start with mead, you would not have that. We might rely on the Sporific Sponge. We don't need to buy the sponge this time around, so we're just going to go ahead and buy 1 or 2 healing salves. We already have bandages, and I think we'll skip on the detox for now. I think I will go ahead and buy a second salve. And at this point, we have 4 pieces of food that we can rely on. We've got some pain management. We have a full flask, and we're good to go. Straight south, and it's a long road. Unfortunately, as Jorgrim, we don't believe in the gods, so we're not going to be able to get any of those new sweet roadside travelers bonuses. But hey, that's what you get for being an atheist dwarf. That being said, maybe we'll find some kind of encounter down here. Typically, you'll get ambushed and whatnot. or while you're traveling. Or maybe we'll find broken down carts. Although I've noticed a lot less carts for some reason around the opening town. Maybe they changed that, I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Henbane. I like Henbane for starters. Just to help against the boss by getting the Battle Rage. Burdoc's useful. Best part about picking up plants is that the first things to ditch when you need space. The thing we do want to look out for though are penny buns. Penny buns are good because they're going to help heal the morale that we'll lose from alcohol, or not alcohol, but using leeches. And they are just a good source of free food once you cook everything up. And that's the best part about going to a human dungeon, is that you get the campfire right outside. Can't believe how many times I've gone to to do a dungeon. Oh, that's a massive amount of penny buns. I've gone to plenty of times to do a dungeon just to remember, oh wait, crypts don't have fires on the outside. So it is what it is. Alright, what I want to do is I want to try and see as many of these guys as possible. It looks like there's only 2, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But I want to see as many as possible before I activate the tactic, because that's how you get the bonus. And then you want to keep at least one person within view before you try and pull. So we're going to go ahead and activate it. It won't go away until the combat's done. He's one step away, we'll pass a turn, and start swinging. Our critical hit both hit everything in front of us. That's another hidden benefit. I don't know if people realize that, is that you can hit adjacent enemies. Crit at the 2-meter. And they went down very quickly. No problems whatsoever. We took very little permanent damage. We can easily heal back up to full. That's very good for us. So we're going to go ahead and cook up these penny buns. And it gives better morale, better hunger. The resto goes down by 1 point. But it's worth it overall to just go ahead and cook everything. So we'll have plenty of food going in here. The worst thing that can happen for us is if we get overwhelmed in the early game. So we are trying to avoid fights where we have to fight 3 or more guys. Treasure, food, more food. Could really use some alcohol. Or a treasure chest. Dark ale's nice to have for morale. Don't forget to use your trap finding. It seems like there's always more traps in a human dungeon. At least that's my experience. Already finding a massive amount of food. Alright, we have an enemy here. Break up the monotony. I didn't get the tactics, but that's fine. He went down very easily. And some more treasure. So let's back up. Heal up. You always want to top off your healing with a little bit of rest. That's worth keeping, and of course we can read it. Doing a couple points investment in the geomancy just for the the ability to throw up runic boulders is not a terrible idea. Whether or not we do that in the future, we'll see. Let's take a look at our needs. Hunger 18, thirst 22. We'll go ahead and eat some bread and then drink some water. And that gives us enough space to grab the book. Boar pelt is sellable, but it is way too big to be comfortably hauling around everywhere. We've got an enemy. I hate seeing polearm enemies. They like to dash on you. So when you plan for them, try and plan for 2 spaces. So we're going to go ahead and do tactics, pass, he's got a dash on us, and then we go to town. So we got the better of him, but we are down some HP. Let's look at our herbs. Health resto, we'll eat that, and then rest. So I think I'm going to sit here and accrue hunger and thirst and let myself go up to 90, just to be on the absolute safe side. And that's good. We can eat some penny buns to top off our hunger, and we'll go ahead and take a drink of water. Another skin, can't really haul that around. We'll just pick deer antlers are worth it. 50 for 2 slots. Silver clasp even better. I'd rather give up one of those than to try and find room otherwise. Alright, so that should be the first level. Because I can see the way down here. We're doing good. Manashire is always good to get, or Manshire. I always call it Manashire. We don't really have any hunger or thirst that we would really want to sit and just plow through our food reserves. So I think for now we will drop the bottle of oil just so we can pick up that. And if we have space for treasure, we'll just pick up the bottle of oil on the way out. Alright, 2 spaces away. We'll go ahead and put up our tactics. Pass 1. Seize the initiative. And he goes down without much of a fight. More food. Always glad to see food. Iron ingots are worth taking. They sell pretty well. They're about on par for deer antlers because it's 25 per slot. Let's heal up a bit. Oh man, that scared me. So we're already at the boss. He's 1 space away. That's unfortunate. We could have taken more time to buff up. I would like to do defensive tactics. It gives us a lot of bonuses that we can use against him. For example, the dodge or the block. And the damage taken is definitely nice, but I'm not sure that it is necessarily worth it at this moment compared to getting Battle Rage from Hensbane. So I think we're going to go ahead with the Hensbane and try and mow him down quickly. So 15 rounds of Battle Rage. We have plus 25% crit, efficiency, 10 crit chance, 15 weapon damage. Yes, I believe that is definitely the right decision. Now we'll go ahead and use Seize Initiative, and then we'll auto-attack him. We got a crit on the first one. That was really good for us. He's down to 66, and he's injured. He has less dodge chance and a higher pain limit. So this is going good so far. We lost quite a bit there. 27. And he knocked us back. Thankfully not into a wall, but we did do some good damage to him, and he's now bleeding. There was a crit. We broke his torso. His vitality went down, and he's taking 15% more damage, so he's about to die. He's only got 8 left. This went wonderfully for us. It could have been really bad. So brandy's good to pick up. It sells for about 90. The heavy club can be good. I might actually just go ahead and ditch this crap shield. Pick up the heavy club. Yeah, that'll sell for a little bit, or we can keep it and use it. And then from here, the door's closed. They very rarely come through the doors, and this must be to the boss's room. So we'll go ahead and take care of our needs. We're intoxicated because of the hen. Where's our detox? That's a detoxer. This is a detoxer. Drinking water detoxes. We'll go ahead and eat the mind wart because our sanity's a little low. We'll eat the other bog bean to get rid of more intoxication. We'll eat up some of this common, we'll eat up the bread. And then some of this common food. Mainly because the penny buns do not spoil. So keeping them around for longer is better. We'll hold on to the garlic. It's good for anti-intoxication. We're at full. Drink some more water. We'll eat the radish and penny bun, and we're good to go. So there's a beet, there's a carp, radish, ingot, all stuff we had left behind. This is not dwarf keeping just yet. So, yep, the boss's room. We have an hourglass. Another hourglass. We might ditch those. Pick that. So the ship is not worth it. The money is. That's not really worth it. Do we need morale? We do not need morale, so we'll ditch this. And then we'll pick up this. This is very interesting. Very glad to have it so early in the game. If we're lucky, it will have a curse that is beneficial to us, but that's not likely. Alright, we'll go ahead and buff up with tactics. Pass so he comes closer. Initiative. Bow him down. So our first dungeon run has been very successful so far. Initiative. Very nice. Nope, no room. So the bottle of oil will sell better than the hourglass, but let's go ahead and take a look at our food. We'll eat the beet. We'll toss the garlic. Pick up the bottle of oil. Alright, I like to attack them down when we start to fail at picking locks, just because I want to keep the lock picks for chests. Disenchantment scroll. We can't really use it unless this turns out to be a bad curse ring. It did not curse us, so we don't really need that. Alright, that should be all the rooms. So now we can head back to town, sell our filthy lucre, and then call it a day. Spool of thread. I think that's 20. 25, it's not worth it. So make no mistake, that could have ended very badly for us a couple times there, just because you're taking so much damage as a two-hander. So if you do decide to try a strat like this and find yourself dying a couple of times, do not get discouraged. It happens to all of us. It's just one of those things about the game, and if anything, you should be thanking your lucky stars you're not playing Permadeath. I know there's been a big influx of new players ever since the patch dropped, or the update I should say, and I'm glad to see so many new people playing. My advice is stay resilient, and definitely keep trying, because this game is Dark Souls hard. Make no mistake, it's meant to be hard, and it being hard is what makes it worthwhile to play. Particularly when you find that you finally beat the thing that has been beating you for so long. There's a great sense of accomplishment, I feel, when that happens. So we're going to rent a room for one day. That was weird. And, let's throw some meat in here. We're going to sell the brandy. That's our quest. We'll throw that in here. And everything else is either sellable or keepable. And we'll reserve this in the future for pain management. We'll rest until about 10, 9 or 10. I usually do 9. Is when all the merchants will get back up and go back in the town. For their daily chores and whatnot. So first things first, let's go get our money for completing the quest. $455, very nice. That should afford us some boots. You can sell metal stuff to the smith. 80 sounds about right to me. We'll want to sell other valuables to the merchant, if he's available. He might not be available. He might be kidnapped. In which case, we will probably deposit the book, and we'll just sell the hourglass to whoever takes it. Let's see if there's anything that he can repair. There is not. We'll head on to the tailor for a pair of new boots. Looks like our carp went rotten on us, so we'll ditch it. We could get the boots or we could get the helm. I think we'll go for the boots for now. Sell that. So now we have 2 more protection. We have some resistances, which are really important for mitigating damage and all, and it's just better than what we had. This could be a good place to offload your random stuff, but we'll see if the other merchant is out yet. He is, so we'll go ahead and sell to him. Get past the RP here. And he's a talker. So deer antlers, hourglasses, they sell for a lot more. And this sells for 40. He's got sword treaties too, shield stuff, nothing we want. So we'll pass on all that. Sell the bottle. We need to sell this to the tavern keeper. And I forgot to sell that to the weaponsmith. I also forgot to get my weapon repaired. So we definitely came out way ahead. And I'm feeling good overall about our restart. Pick up some more bread. Eat. And top off our thirst. So that's going to do it for this run of Stoneshard. We did the first quest, no problems, which is really good for us. Started off on our new path to victory, so to speak. Thank you once again for joining me on this journey. It's been very fun to do. And I hope you guys will join me in the future. In fact, if you feel like it, I hang out in Discord every now and then. And if you feel like talking, be sure to drop me a line. In fact, if you feel like you would like to commentate on one of these videos, also drop a line. I feel like videos like this are more fun to do and more interesting to people to listen to if you have other people to talk to or listen to while tuning in. So maybe get some banter going. That being said, if you want, leave a comment and leave a like if you like. And I will see you next time. This is DarLeeLlama signing off. Take care and have a great day.